It's day 2 of a back-to-back between Krajisnik FC and the Salisbury Stakes after a 17-2 victory yesterday for Krajisnik. We're back again today. The Stakes looking to hopefully put up a little bit more of a contest in today's matchup. And before today's matchup, we've got Greg Fanning alongside one of the coaches for this Krajisnik side in Jason Palkovich down on the field. We'll send it down to Greg now to take it away with Coach Palkovich.
Hey everybody, good evening. Greg Fanning here at the Utica Adirondack Bank Center with JP. Good evening and welcome back. We got second game of our doubleheader. Yesterday, complete domination on the pitch. What's going to be the mindset and the change to not have a letdown this evening and carry that momentum into tonight?
Well, really, it's the whole season is about progressing and getting better each game, and we want to end up here. And again, gradually, we want to get better and better every game. And little things like line changes. We're a little sloppy picking them up on the line changes yesterday. Some of our decision making, a couple of our mistakes led to a couple of their goals. So little things like that. It's about getting those down and preparing ourselves, hopefully, for a playoff at the end of the season.
This team seems to have gelled really, really well. We talk constantly about all of the turnover and the adjustments and the new players that have come into this team. What's been the real key to success to having them come together as a cohesive unit so far?
Well, I got to give Utica City, Everton, Tommy a lot of credit, because with some of the players that they brought in, most of our guys are practicing with them, and to learn their system, to have those players playing with the first team. I mean, the experience alone has just been unbelievable, and it shows with some of these guys, with several of our players already making appearances for Utica this year.
Well, it's been a great start to the season. You guys are already 3-0, matched the win total from last year. Looks like the sky's the limit for this group. We started a playoff push. How confident are you that we're gonna seal this up sooner rather than later? And what's the focus for Spice City when they come in? Because it looks like that's the two-team race.
Well, it's not looking past anybody. I mean, indoors is a wacky game, and it's been shown time and time again. For anybody that watches any M2 games, M1 games, anybody can beat anybody. So we definitely are not looking past anybody. Every game we're looking at, like I said, bettering ourselves and getting ready to hopefully for a playoff run. But again, it's looking at Spice City. We played them tightest one so far. But again, we'll focus on them when we get to them. Today it's Salisbury, and we want to take care of business today. And after this, we move on.
Well, thanks so much for your time. We always appreciate it, and good luck tonight.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Greg.
You guys.
Thank you, Greg.
Your family this holiday season with an award-winning Mazda in your driveway. This month during a Season to Move You sales event, drive a new 2025 Mazda CX-30 SE model for only $269 a month on a 36-month lease, or save with 0% or 1.9% APR financing on select new 2025 Mazdas. Let's make your deal on a new Mazda where it's always easy to do business at Steep Ponte Mazda.
Back inside a cold and snowy Utica. It's the second game between United League Krajisnik FC and the Salisbury Stakes. A big win yesterday for Krajisnik, and we set things up again today. Welcome back inside the Adirondack Bank Center. Once again, game 2 of the doubleheader as we welcome you into the booth here inside of the Adirondack Bank Center. I'm Arnav Pokral. I'm joined alongside Greg Fanning again. And Greg, a great win yesterday. It's hard to understate that 17 goals for this Krajisnik side. It's a pretty positive result.
Well, talk about complete domination from second one all the way through the entire game. Salisbury Stake team only had 2 goals scored by the same player. We had everything yesterday. We had precision passing. We had crossing of the field. We had 17 goals. We had flaring of tempers in the first half. And we had an opening goal at 30 seconds. So this was a complete onslaught that took place yesterday. And, you know, precision soccer at its best.
And, you know, it's relatively the same lineup in terms of the top-end players, but a couple of younger guys and a couple of players who haven't been around too much for this Krajisnik side getting their way in. As we take a look at this lineup, in the first line, you know, Mohamed Hamada alongside Mershad Ahmadi and Manny Silva, Ricky Orozco, Toy Tavares, Drew Taylor. This is your strongest lineup and a lineup that produced a lot of offense yesterday. That's
the lineup that really got everything started, especially off of that free kick. Silva blasting that ball right into the back of the net with authority, that's for sure.
And we take a look now at the second line for this Krajisnik side, and it's a line, you know, that has some players moving up and in and out. But once again, it's younger players getting opportunities, and the players that are, you know, moving forward. We still see Christian Vera in there. He wasn't in the lineups yesterday, but the other 4 are players who played yesterday and are sort of building their way up to this Krajisnik to be a regular Krajisnik player.
Yeah, and this is going to be a telltale sign of some strategy changes that we'll talk about in the pitch points, where, you know, you start to plug in some of these other pieces that Salisbury didn't play against yesterday, and then you have new opportunities to see not only what that player is going to be able to do, but how Salisbury is going to respond.
And on line 3, you know, Tyler Barth, he played a little bit yesterday. He made a couple of good saves. Jorge Lozada, Mohamed Job, another player who didn't play yesterday. Adeline Bujel-Basic and Joshua Card, 2 defenders that didn't play yesterday. So, you know, once again, you have all these outdoor players, whether they play Nisa Nation, whether they play UPSL for Krajisnik, moving to the indoor game, and now a chance to really get adjusted and get the first real game feel in the indoor arena.
Well, and also, you know, we talked to Tarek yesterday at halftime. He spoke about, what am I going to do? How am I going to make some changes? Do I show up with the exact same roster? Does the performance from today dictate what I do for tomorrow? So we can clearly see that he has gone and made little tweaks and little adjustments like he always does. And through, discussion and strategizing between himself, JP, and Gordy, there you go. You got everything all ready to go. But tonight, the pitch points, continued dominance. Our boys going to show up and continue their dominance over the last several games between Baltimore and last night, as Coach JP said so eloquently at the beginning of the pregame. We're not looking ahead. We want to continue to build and get better and better and better. Hopefully they continue that momentum and they continue that dominance tonight. Strategy changes. We've already seen some lineup changes and things, bringing in some fresh players, some fresh feet that haven't been utilized yet this season. What other strategy changes are going to take place? And as we take the pitch tonight, we start our run for the playoffs. And what does that look like? How is that going to proceed? How is that playoff push going to look like this year? At the very beginning of last season, there was talk about a playoff push, 2 games short at the end of the year. This year is a completely different energy. It's a completely different situation. And this team is primed for greatness. That is clearly for sure.
So as the final warm-ups get underway, we take a look at the updated East Division standings. Spice City is in action today. They play, I believe, Baltimore later tonight or right around this time. But Krajisnik now jumps into first place after yesterday's victory, well ahead of everybody else in terms of goal differential, which is going to play a factor later on in the season. That
goal differential, yes, it's going to completely come into play at the end of the season, but also it just showcases, they always say in sports, you take care of the teams and you win the games versus teams that you're supposed to win. And you try your best to win those games big, especially in this type of a format. Get that goal differential up. They took advantage of the fact that the Salisbury goaltenders have a tough time saving shots and blocking shots. There are high scores within those games. And yesterday they just completely, Krajisnik completely put their foot down on the gas pedal and hammered it home and really took care of business. And that was what was very, very important to take to heart when it was time to go against this Salisbury team. Take care of tonight. Get another bunch of goals. Expand that goal differential, because as we talked about yesterday, you never know what's going to happen at the end of the season. We might need that really big number to be able to push through to the playoffs and get a better seed.
And we do have an updated result out in Danbury at the Danbury Ice Arena. Spice City takes down Baltimore 8-1. So they jump back up to first place with now 12 points on the season, 4 wins, 1 loss. Krajisnik at 3 wins, no losses. They've played 2 less games than Spice City before kickoff in this one. But once again, I mean, that's bound to happen with Spice City having played 5 games compared to Krajisnik's 3. But it's really setting up to be a battle of 2 heavyweights in the East Division.
Yeah, Spice City and Krajisnik right now out of the gate in this still young season. They're showcasing that they're the top two teams. They're the ones that are going to be making a run for the playoffs. They're the ones that it's going to come down to between the 2 of them, and they're the 2 workhorses of the bracket. There's no doubt about it at all.
After tonight, it's February 8th at Salisbury before a couple of back-and-forth matches for Krajisnik between Salisbury and Baltimore, and then obviously closing out the season with what I believe is 3 straight matches against Spice City. That could really decide the division at the end of the day.
Yeah, what would be really, really good to do if you're United Elite Krajisnik Football Club is to build such a big lead that when you hit those 3 games against Spice City, you don't walk into a must-win situation. That's what they walked into Rochester with last year. And setting aside all of the logistical nonsense that took place at the end of last year, it's just a case where you don't want to walk in saying we have to win this game. You want to have such a big lead, and you want to have things in hand where you don't have that pressure. You can still play loose. You can still be fluid on the field and not have that in the back of your mind of, well, if we screw this up, we're going to be toast. You don't want to be in that situation.
So Salisbury set to kick things off in what is the second of 2 between Krajisnik and the Stakes. I have to say, although, you know, results haven't gone the way of the Stakes, they do have a pretty interesting mascot. Probably one of the best in all of the MASL2. And we continue to get set for kickoff. Final few moments as Salisbury waiting for final confirmation from the referees to get things started.
This is going to be a great matchup, and this is going to be a true testament of how the coaching staff for Krajisnik has really trained their team. Also, you know, the other thing to keep in mind is this could be a statement from Salisbury as well. You never know how a team is going to respond after you get the shellacking that they got last night. So we'll see how things progress.
The first action goes the way of Drew Taylor, and he rolls it out to Toy Tavares. Tavares, who has played in the MASL this season for Utica City FC. It was Manny Silva who scored just 30 seconds in yesterday. He's on the ball now, looking for Mershad Amadi. Amadi, who had 5 yesterday, now sits at 10 goals on the season. And had a chance to get a shot there. All the way back to Toy Tavares. Ball roll. He's got some space here, Tavares. Shot deflected away by Salisbury. The Stakes come into this one 1-3-1 on the season. Krajisnik, obviously the 3-0 that we mentioned earlier. There's Drew Taylor stepping out. He had a shot on goal yesterday. Pretty good shot, and that was saved by Palatar, the netminder for Salisbury.
Krajisnik rocking those black and gold, black and yellow uniforms. Looks like Salisbury in the same colors as what they were yesterday.
And now a chance to move forward for the Stakes. Shot on goal, saved by Taylor. Rolled out wide. Now push forward. Here's Christian Vera, one of the players who didn't appear yesterday for Krajisnik, but is there in the lineup today. He feeds it in. Goncalves. Oh, just a poor touch. Had a chance to make 1-0 instead. The Stakes holding on.
Already this has a different feel from yesterday, well beyond the fact that we're past 30 seconds and we haven't tallied a goal yet. But this, you know, the energy is different. The flow to the game is starting to become different. So this is going to be quite interesting to see how things progress here as the first quarter starts to unwind here and open up.
Goncalves picked it up from Hamada. Hamada gets it back and finds Tavares. And now a change brings on line 3, which features Adelin Buljabasic. Joshua Card over to Buljabasic.
Krajisnik already starting to rotate the ball through the zone and try to advance the ball like they did yesterday, rotating at the top of the key, rotating within the neutral zone, and then feeding the ball, trying to feed the ball through the middle or crossing, which is how they got the plethora of their goals yesterday in the first quarter.
Amadi steps to the left. Back to Card. And now across. Back down to Amadi. Has Jorge Lozana in the middle. Amadi overran it. Cleared away only as far as Tyson Dos Santos. Dos Santos was on the bench today for Utica City FC as one of the, I guess, assistant coaches, per se. He was there alongside Everton Moreira, learning the game. And now it's Mershad Amadi. Steps to the left. Amadi fires, saved by Palatar.
Palatar eating up everything that's low again. So now it's going to be a question of, do they go back to that high aerial assault?
There's a shot from distance from Ricky Orozco.
Ricky really needs to start firing it up, and he needs to interject himself into these games just a little bit more than what he has been. It's almost like he's been a sleeper so far. He needs to really get the statistics up. He needs to start getting his name up on the board.
There's a long-range shot. This one will fall for Dos Santos and eventually picked up. Still with Krajisnik. Vera off the wall. Back with Vera. Now Manny Silva. Orozco. Has help, will play it in Kyle Jenrich. Scored 2 goals yesterday, one of them from his own half that took a deflection into the back of the net past Vinny Verdi.
On Salisbury, it appears that right now they're opening up with a defensive press that was similar to what took place in the second and third quarters yesterday. When they got away from that, Krajisnik ate them alive. So maybe they learned a little something from yesterday in order to come out a little bit stronger and try to contain the power of this Krajisnik team.
Long range pass down to Vera in the corner. We're 5 minutes in, no score between the two sides. But it's Krajisnik who are dominating ball possession. Shot rifled in, and Palatar gets down and makes a save. Palatar throws it out. This is Lupe Garcia. And now cleared forward. This one will go all the way back to Toy Tavares and headed back now. Tavares will run over it and maintain possession. Entry pass forward to Ramazani Juma. Laid off, now back to Tavares. Tavares steps towards the midfield line, has Mohamed Hamada to his left, will play up to Maldini Goncalves. Out wide, Juma. He steps in, has space. Juma shoots just wide. Mohamed Job turned it over, back to Hamada. Hamada shoved off the ball, no foul. And that one goes out of play. Possession goes the way of Salisbury. So much brighter start for the visiting Salisbury Stakes.
Yeah, they came out a whole lot better than they did yesterday. That's for sure. And they're a lot more focused. They're counterattacking. They're controlling the flow of the game, and they're filling those passing windows. Yesterday, there were a lot of opportunities for crossing the ball, splitting the defense. Today, it started off a lot more laid back, and for Krajisnik, and Salisbury is really taking their time and making sure that they cover properly and not allowing those crosses and not allowing those diagonal runs to take place.
Bolja Basic goes all the way down to Amadi. Rashad Amadi on the turn and fires a shot in. Now off the wall, out to claim it is Palatar.
So we talked a little bit yesterday about the rebounds off of the boards. These beautiful new LED boards that we have here at the Adirondack Bank Center in downtown Utica, New York. We talked about the rebounds off the plexiglass and the boards and how it's so important to control them. That's another change from yesterday. Krajisnik controlled virtually everything off of the boards. Today, Salisbury is starting to control that just a little bit more, and the rebound opportunities have either been swallowed up by the goaltender or they've been taken control by one of the positional players.
Jorge Lozada pressured in the corner, finds Vera. Now away to Ricky Orozco. And Orozco will take it back and recycle with this team. Finds Tyson Dos Santos. Now out wide. Pressure coming, it goes back to Manny Silva. And Silva, entry pass forward to Vera. Vera searching. And staying up and firing a shot in the back of the net. It took a little bit longer than yesterday, but Krajisnik get on the board first. It's a 1-0 lead for the home side.
Well, finally they have cracked the code for the first goal of the day. 6:47 left in the first quarter.
And again, it's Manny Silva who opens the scoring. He scored yesterday for Krajisnik. He opens the scoring today for Krajisnik. And a great weekend for him. Just stays on his feet after some contact and too much power on the shot for Palatar to deny it. That'll get us to our first media break, and Greg will keep it here because I want to talk a little bit about the start of this game. It's been a lot slower for this Krajisnik side. Do you think that's more of the rotational players coming in and making their first sort of entry into indoor soccer? Or do you think it's Salisbury stepping up the game?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think that Salisbury. Let's talk about Salisbury first. So they came out, applied more press, more pressure, filled those passing lanes and those open windows, and they up until now. They've been able to control the pace and the tempo a little bit. They played some pretty decent defense and fed the ball up through the field methodically. As for Krajisnik, yes, you do have some new players feeling it out, figuring it out. There's always a learning curve, no matter who you are or how talented you are. But also, there's a learning curve for the players on the pitch as well. You don't know, you haven't built that rapport with your teammates to be able to know where they're going to be. Have those silent cues that a lot of players that play with each other all the time, you haven't built those silent cues yet to be able to know where somebody's going to be, what they're going to do in a certain situation. So I think it's a little bit of both, but this has a much slower start and a much more methodical one.
Chance in front right away for Salisbury, and Drew Taylor has to come out and play it with his foot. Headed towards Taylor, and he catches it off the wall.
Well, and yesterday they had two of those balls that were floating around in the middle there in a very, very dangerous, precarious situation. Fortunately, one out of the two, only one out of the two made it home. But that was another break in focus and capability of keeping the ball out of the middle of the defense.
Shot from Maldini Goncalves is blocked by Josh Danza. Danza, who scored the only 2 goals yesterday for Salisbury. Now Goncalves. Maldini Goncalves. Forward, up off the wall from Mohamed Job. A good idea there from Job, who didn't play yesterday but is in the lineup today.
They're working hard to build that rapport on the field, and you can see how the speed and accuracy of the passes and the work that has gone on with this group. It's really coming together very nicely against this Salisbury Stakes team.
Danza to Safoy. Up off the wall. And Joseph Safoy is a name that we know in Krajisnik. He played for the Arsenal last year. He scored a couple of goals here at the Adirondack Bank Center in that matchup, in a couple of matchups between the Arsenal and Krajisnik. Here's Mershad Ahmadi. Blitzing to the left. He goes roofing in. What a finish from Mershad Ahmadi. It's 2-0 Krajisnik.
Yeah, they're starting to revisit what they were doing yesterday, shooting the ball high, getting that aerial attack going. And that's the first one to, make it home on the line. Coming down, there's no pressure from Salisbury. And all he had to do was one quick step. He was already by. The defender had no chance of making a play there unless it was going to be a foul. Probably would have risked a blue card or a yellow card with that. So, now it seems like Krajisnik is starting to warm up a little bit. And they're getting going here.
Long range shot from Tommy Humphreys goes up and out of play, and then eventually the ball is cleared out. It'll go to Drew Taylor for the goalkeeper restart. And starting it off is Tyson Dos Santos. Has Drew Taylor to the right. We'll call off Taylor and go down to the corner to Vera. Christian Vera looking for an outlet, has an opening, and now we'll play it back to Mohamed Hamada. All the way back to Dos Santos again. Hamada. Dancing. Hamada still has it. Had some space, now turn it over. Dyson Dos Santos goes long range, and it deflects off of Vera. It'll be a goalkeeper restart. Great work from Hamada to keep possession. Great shot from Tyson Dos Santos. Just it hit his own teammate, Christian Vera.
Yeah, that was a rocket from outside in the neutral area, and it was completely online. to potentially go in the back of the net. Those unlucky little things that take place in the middle of the scrum of being in the box. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I mean, look at yesterday. We had that deflection. One of the goals for Krajisnik went off of a Salisbury player, and like just one of those unlucky strikes.
So back with it now as Dos Santos is fouled. And Krajisnik will restart, finds Hamada. Orozco. Dos Santos. Long pass, working down low, looking for Manny Silva. A correction there, that is not Manny Silva. I believe that's Mohamed Job.
Yep. Mohamed Job is out there applying pressure, moving the ball, attacking the ball.
Now a chance to go the other way. Odie Johnson plays it down to the corner.
Great
Turned
defense.
over. And Orozco just can't get there in time as Joseph Safoy will pick things back up. He'll play it to his partner in Josh Danza. And if Salisbury are going to score, it's got to be through Safoy, Danza. One of the two will probably be involved. Probably the two best players that Salisbury has. Turning the other way. Here's Mershad Amadi into some space. Amadi still in space. Finds Orozco off the wall and gloved down by Palatar.
Yeah, Josh Danza was the player for Salisbury that did the damage yesterday against Krajisnik with 2 goals, one of them being on power play, the other one being equal strength, I believe.
I think it was right at the closing of a power play, so it was an equal strength goal, but it was right after Krajisnik was released from a blue card. So they were just recovering from being down a man.
Yeah, it was a late night last night, my man.
It was. I think the game finished right around 11:30.
Well, 11:30 midnight. Yep.
Yeah, no, it was one of the later games we've had in the MASL. As we've got 2 minutes left in the first quarter, a much slower first quarter than yesterday's game. At this point, Mershad Amadi had 4 goals, and it was a 5-1 game for Krajisnik. And speaking of Amadi, here he is, spinning away from danger. Card. Back to Amadi. Back to Card. Finishes! Great finish from the defender.
Beautiful 1-2 pass. Textbook.
And Joshua Card scores for Krajisnik. He didn't play yesterday, but he's on the score sheet today.
Yeah, I mean, he right there, working right in the middle of the field, coming down, controlling the ball, does a classic 1-2. Salisbury parts the seas with their defense. They didn't stay tightened together, and Card puts it away.
So now 3-0. It started with Silva. And then it was Amadi. And then Card. Humphreys turned it over. Going the other way, blitzing down the near side wall is Maldini Goncalves. He just overran it. Here's the captain, Chris Wright. Played back in by Danza. Angling towards the back post. It finds Wright again. Both players go down, foul called on Krajisnik as Chris Wright draws it.
They're certainly taking their sweet time building that wall and building that defensive barrier.
And a save from Drew Taylor. Got down, kicked it away. Moving the other way. This is Ramazani Juma. He'll cut to the right side. He'll fire a low shot. The rebound bounces into the hands of Palatar.
Vera was never able to put any power behind that shot. It's almost like it was a reflex. He was surprised that the ball came right back and luckily landed right on his foot, but too close. And he had no time to be able to create separation between ball and body and take that shot.
Tyson Dos Santos can't clear it away. Played it off of Lupe Garcia. And now played forward by Ibrahim Abdul-Maged. Final 5 seconds of the first quarter. And that will do it for quarter number 1. Krajisnik with 6 shots on goal. Salisbury only had the 1 that was saved by Taylor. And we end the first quarter with Krajisnik up by 3. Pretty solid first quarter for a much rotated Krajisnik side.
Very much so. Very, very good start. Very methodical start. They have their game plan put together, and they're running it, and they're running it very well. We didn't have the fireworks that we had yesterday, but it's still a 3-0 lead. And in most scenarios, a 3-0 lead is typically pretty tough to come back with. The other thing that this does is we talked about the goal differential. We already know what Spice City did. So now this is going to help not only if we take the victory, but that goal differential is also going to become a factor. And any growth on that number in a positive manner can propel us back into first place.
So now with the first quarter break underway, we'll step aside on United Elite Krajisnik FC's YouTube channel. You're watching the MASL2. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back from the odd.
Family this holiday season with an award-winning Mazda in your driveway. This month during a Season to Move You sales event, drive a new 2025 Mazda CX-30 SE model for only $269 a month on a 36-month lease, or save with 0% or 1.9% APR financing on select new 2025 Mazdas. Let's make your deal on a new Mazda where it's always easy to do business at Steep Ponte Mazda.
Welcome back inside the Adirondack Bank Center. Second quarter, moments away from action here at the Adirondack Bank Center. But Krajisnik's not just MASL2. All these different clubs under Krajisnik and Greg. I know we've got some clinics to talk about within Krajisnik and Whitestown ASO.
Yeah, Whitestown ASO. Yesterday or the day before, we opened up our registration. Not only do I coach the U12 girls team, but also I'm the regional commissioner for Whitestown ASO. Proud to be a member of that board and help these kids and youth athletes to be able to grow and progress and develop. We practice twice a week, so anybody who's interested in signing up to play for ASO, sign up with Whitestown. We're all licensed coaches. They've all gone through rigorous training. We do 2 practices a week. You've got a 7-week program that's going to start at the beginning of May. And, sometimes we'll end the season with the tournament, which if you don't go and play club and travel ball, some kids never get that opportunity. So we take it to the next level when it comes to running our ASO programs, and it's with great applause from multiple people.
There's a shot from Jorge Lozada as we get the second quarter underway. And Lozada gets on the board, makes it 4-0 Krajisnik.
So Krajisnik is cranking it up now. They've figured out what Salisbury's doing. They're moving forward. This was right off of the kickoff. I don't know what Salisbury's done. I'm sorry, but they have so many holes. That defense, it's like they were napping. There's so many holes in that defense, it's like I'm looking at a piece of Swiss cheese. If I'm the coach for Salisbury, I'm pulling my hair out, and I don't have much to begin with. I don't understand that. There was no sense of urgency to apply any pressure or at least cover a player back there. That goal was way too easy.
Back underway with 14.5 minutes left to go in the second quarter. And a match that even if we may not hit that 17-2 mark, is getting to be that point already in the second quarter.
Yeah, Krajisnik is just they're setting the tone that last night was not a fluke.
Here goes Ricky Orozco blitzing down the far side boards. Orozco's a player with some pretty solid indoor experience. Was on the team last year. In fact, was the only returner within the top 15 point scorers in terms of last year to this year for Krajisnik. And now it's Mershad Ahmadi. Orozco. Ahmadi again. Looking for the return pass to Orozco. And Ricky Orozco will go down to the corner and battle for it. Turned over, Mohamed Hamada. Hamada off the boards, in front, sliding effort. Still loose in front. Now Toy Tavares gets on it.
Orozco looked like he was like a half a step behind. If he was just a half a step closer, I think that ball's in.
And again, Orozco missing a golden opportunity, but it only goes as far as Manny Silva. Now the Salisbury defense setting up. What a move from Silva. Still with Silva. And Krajisnik calling for a change, so Christian Vera will come on, as will Ramazani Juma.
Now Roscoe's beating himself up on the bench. He went over, he's throwing his hands around. He knows he missed 2 golden opportunities to get on board.
Toy Tavares, Joshua Card to his right. Toy Tavares picks it back up as Ramazani Juma, and it goes to Juma. And now moving forward is Goncalves. Thought about going off the boards, instead will turn it back around. Juma, Tavares, in front, Vera, off the wall, swivel, thought about the thought about the shot, but passes it to Goncalves, and then a foul on Juma in the far side corner. And now a delay of game warning for Salisbury.
Now this has the feel of last night. That whole shift from the 4th goal being scored in this game till now had the speed and the control, even the shots that came off of the boards. They're controlling those rebounds. One of them, the ball came right back onto Silva's foot, and he was able to switch the field and continue that ball movement.
So Krajisnik will call a timeout, draw something up, and we will step aside right with them. 4-0 lead for Krajisnik. About 12 and a half minutes left in the second quarter. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on the Krajisnik FC YouTube channel. Back inside the Adirondack Bank Center as we prepare for the second quarter of action. 12 and a half minutes left to go in quarter number 2, and there is Ricky Orozco standing over the ball. He has Mershad Ahmadi to his right alongside Toy Tavares. Manny Silva and Mohamed Hamada also out there for this Krajisnik side. Ahmadi's got some space. They instead turn it around. There's a shot from Silva. Well-worked play there from Krajisnik, and now Manny Silva can operate in space.
That was a pretty play. Very pretty play.
Plays it forward to Hamada, who turns around. And now Silva. And for all this focus on Rashad Amadi and his goal-scoring ability, I think Manny Silva's creativity goes underrated on this Krajisnik team.
I think so too, and he's physical he's physical in space, meaning his size and his footwork, he could be looking right, dead on, right into your eyes, and he can know where his teammates are. Several times he's pulled that ball back and hit it behind himself to connect a pass into the center. And what that does is it freezes at least one of the defenders, and you got a shot on goal when he does that. So his skill level, especially paired with the other players on his line, they really complement each other.
A shot taken by Amadi on the free kick. Toy Tavares. Silva. Still Silva. Tavares. His shot from distance deflects in. It left Johnny Palatar flat-footed as Toy Tavares gets on the score sheet. It's 5-0.
Yeah, Tavares, we talked about those deflections, and Tavares utilized the defender to deflect that ball right into the bottom corner. And it's almost like the goaltender for Salisbury never saw it. He certainly couldn't react to it fast enough to make a move. That's for sure.
So now back underway with Josh Danza standing at the center dot. Tyson Dos Santos plucks it away. So it's Dos Santos again. Ramazani Juna. And Juma turns around. Kyle Jenrich, the Oswego standout.
So Clark and Danza were Danza scored the goals yesterday.
Danza scored 2 yesterday, the only 2 that Salisbury scored.
Clark was the forward yesterday, causing all the issues.
And now forward again for Krajisnik. Mohamed Joe closes it down. Now back to Ramazani Juma. Maldini Goncalves. Tyson Dos Santos. Deflected forward. And Salisbury maintain possession, turn it over. Here's Juma. Turning away from danger. Wide. Jenrich off the wall, looking for a body, couldn't find one. And now Danza can go the other way. And we know how dangerous he can be. Good recovery from Jenrich.
So that pass back not only was able to provide a substitution and a switch up, but also it kind of resets and it calms everything on the field. Passing back, not forcing the ball. Sometimes the best move you can do is drop the ball back, have everybody reset, and then move forward again with better results instead of trying to force something.
Lupe Garcia overran his touch and taken back by Mohamed Hamada. 5-0 lead for Krajisnik with under 10 minutes to play in the second frame. Lozada, already 1 goal today, off the wall. Palatar got a touch on it. Lozada gets it right back. Plays it across the face of goal, but no one there at the top of the key. Tyson Dos Santos. Long range effort, deflected away. Defensive stand there from Ali Bala.
Trying to hit Hamada in the middle, and Salisbury got in the way, played some good defense, deflected that pass away. Otherwise, that's a really good scoring chance. So now Krajisnik is starting to get that switch offensive play going again from side to side.
Silva. Krajisnik is looking for that Silva running goal on any set play, but so far Salisbury's been equal to both of them.
Well, we talked about this yesterday. We're not relying on one particular goal scorer anymore. Everybody's getting into the act. Everybody's getting better and better at it. So now the teams that come in and have to defend against that, they've got a much bigger job in preparing for this team than just worrying about, a Ricky Orozco or just worried about a Somau or somebody along those lines.
Oh, what a run!
Everybody.
What a run by Mershad Amadi. Through 4 or 5 bodies and just did it all himself. A great solo run. Amadi makes it 6.
What a great goal. What a great play. Just coming right through, cut through and split the defenders themselves, went right through the goaltender, and then he went right into the boards.
Yeah, it took a little hit there from the LED boards, but looks to have gotten up and walked off fine.
Short-term pain to celebrate long-term gain.
Oh, and there's a great move from Odie Johnson outside of the foot. What a save from Drew Taylor.
And Taylor hasn't had to do that much today so far with 8.5 left in the quarter. So to have him have to make that play kind of wakes him up, gets him going again, get that blood moving, get that adrenaline fired up.
Rolled back to the top of the key, and that one sent skyward. But it is a foul in the process on Manny Silva. And down on the field for Salisbury is Odie Johnson, who just had that shot against Drew Taylor.
So this is where communication between the goaltender and his players is going to be of massive importance. The goaltender is going to set himself up in one spot. The wall is going to protect on a different spot, and that's exactly how that's supposed to work. The wall presses in onto the ball. You get the deflection. Shot doesn't go through, and now we're off and running again.
It's Ramazani Juma who absolutely ate that free kick, and now Drew Taylor steps forward. Tavares, Josh Card. Pressured, Tavares, out wide to Taylor. Taylor looking cross-field, up off the boards. That's a great feed from Drew Taylor. And out of play. And it's a intentional delay, so it'll be a yellow line restart for Krajisnik. And now a timeout called for immediate timeout with under 8 minutes to go in quarter number 2. We'll step aside on the Krajisnik FC YouTube channel. United League Krajisnik FC dominating up 6 against Salisbury.
Family this holiday season with an award-winning Mazda in your driveway. This month during a Season to Move You sales event, drive a new 2025 Mazda CX-30 SE model for only $269 a month on a 36-month lease, or save with 0% or 1.9% APR financing on select new 2025 Mazdas. Let's make your deal on a new Mazda where it's always easy to do business at Steep Ponte Mazda.
Welcome back inside the Adirondack Bank Center. It is 6-0 Krajisnik, continuing to dominate just like yesterday. A top-of-the-arc restart upcoming because of an intentional delay by Salisbury. And the Stakes will now eventually make their way out of the huddle and out to defend their goal. But so far, Greg, it's been, smooth sailing for this Krajisnik side.
Yeah, and they even had Andrew Taylor come out. That last building out of the back, and he became a positional player because dude's getting bored back there. He doesn't have to do anything. He's had to make one massive save.
What a shot from the set play opportunity.
I tell you, this is just like yesterday. They put the ball up at the top, pass the ball out, and you've got a howitzer being shot right on the Salisbury goal. This is textbook of what they did all day yesterday.
And again, Mershad Ahmadi involved. He's the goal scorer.
I mean, how do you defend this? You got so many great goal scorers, and they're making it look effortless. That's how dominant this team has played over the last 6 quarters, almost 6 quarters. They just dominated, and at this point yesterday, Salisbury had that goal because of the penalty, but today it's just, it's 7-0 with 7.5 minutes left. Salisbury's bringing their goaltender out. He's trying to get involved, and wisely Krajisnik pops a shot, see whether or not they can get an empty netter. Unfortunately, much like how the UCFC game ended. So it just boggles the mind. I don't. If I'm sitting there with Salisbury and I'm their coach, I'm racking my brain on how I can put together a defense that's going to fill the gaps. And quite frankly, I don't know why Salisbury got away from how they started playing in the first quarter.
Salisbury's without their leading goal scorer, Tony Araviakis, who has 11 goals on the season. Mershad Ahmadi, with that most recent goal, has 13. That's enough for second in the MASL2. He trails only Kaike Trivelato of the Wichita Wings, as there's a shot that deflects in, and it counts. That's Jorge Lozada who put one in.
So Lozada is adding to his goal total for both the day and the weekend. And you look at the goaltender for Salisbury, and he's like, this is exactly how he was acting yesterday. He's starting to yell and scream at everybody. So while Salisbury tried to get into our heads yesterday, just from the pure play, the goaltender is, he's expecting the defense to make a play. They never made the play. They never stepped. They never tried to intercept anything. And instead of getting in our heads, he's losing his mind.
How about Drew Taylor picking up the assist there?
It's just, everybody's getting into the act, and that's what makes this team a great group of players and a great squad, because everybody's got everyone's backs. They're playing loose. You can see that there's not any pressure whatsoever. There's no stress on that bench right now. Can't say the same thing for Salisbury.
Again, Krajisnik with some high press. It finds Tyson Dos Santos all the way up the field, and a spinning shot from Ahmadi. He had time, tried to do it on the one time, and that's one he'll want back even with an 8-0 lead. Yeah,
that one, I think that they'll probably record that and play that just to bust chops. I know what he was trying to do, but there's no reason for that. You got all the time in the world. You're sitting down in the offensive zone. Nobody near you again for Salisbury. They've lost vision of those players. And we've got another break here.
Manny Silva
putting another shot on.
And this time Palatar gets down and makes a save.
So Palatar, he continues to make the saves on the bottom ends. If I'm Krajisnik, I'm putting everything in the air.
Tyson Dos Santos.
Silva getting a lot of field time.
Orozco, crossfield pass, great feed off the top boards. Vera brings it back down. Mohamed Hamada in the corner. He's pressured, wants a foul, and actually it's Hamada who's called for the foul.
It's an interesting call.
Either way, it'll be a Salisbury restart. And now moving in space, crossfield pass, great look. coming out to defend it. Open goal. There's a hand from Danza. And Drew Taylor picks it back up. First time really we've seen Salisbury pass through this Krajisnik defense. Every other chance they've had has been a breakaway.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's been that long ball that really ate up last year's squad. That long ball went right down into the corner, and it gave Salisbury an opportunity to make a play in the middle of the box.
There's Odie Johnson. Back to Danza. Pass forward now. Misplayed by Raul Garcia. Far side with Toy Tavares, who has a goal in this quarter. Under 3.5 to go. Tavares again. Back to Ramazani Juma. And Juma assesses. Josh Card. Card looking forward. Turning. Back to Card. And now all the way back to Toy Tavares. Bulja Basic loses out on it, gets it back. Battle for possession. Long range shot from Card. Took a deflection away from Palatar. Now forward for Lupe Garcia. Drew Taylor. Now forward. This is Bulja Basic. Forward again. Job. His shot deflected. And an incident in the corner there as players get sent sprawling into the boards.
They got 4 players down there battling for that ball. They went in deep. No significant injuries, just a lot of sore, battered bodies.
And now Palatar misplayed it. And Bulja Basic will shoot from distance, and he finds the back of the net. What a finish for Adeline Bulja Basic, and it's now 9-0 Krajisnik.
These players that were rotated in, Tarek's strategy and his movement and everything, it just, it's working perfectly. This team just doesn't stop. They're just not stopping. And just like yesterday, they're going to walk into the half with at least 9 goals on the board. They're right where they want to be. And this might also give us an opportunity to see the backup goaltender, the second goaltender rather, Tyler Barth. That might be an opportunity for this group as well, which is what we saw yesterday.
Drew Taylor did just make a save. You didn't see it because the replay was happening, but got down to his right and made a stop. And now it'll be Toy Tavares. As Taylor to his left, will go to Maldini Goncalves. Tavares. Stretch pass forward for Vera. Vera's shot is blocked by Salisbury. Tavares. This is Jenrich. Tavares again. Good run from Jenrich. Down to the corner. Up off the wall, and Palatar makes the save. Jenrich had 2 goals yesterday. Still searching for a first goal today, but he's been effectively rotated a lot more today than yesterday. And a whistle. Stoppage in play. It'll be Krajisnik ball. So now with under a minute left to go in quarter 2, Krajisnik with a 9-0 lead. And the ball is on the far side. The referee's having a conversation about where it should be and who should have it. And we're still waiting for confirmation here on what happened. Most recent goal scored by Adeline Buljabasic. Drew Taylor is now standing at the midway line, also waiting for further instruction. Here's a look at that Buljabasic goal one more time from, just advancing into the attacking zone. He had tons of space and he rifled a shot from pretty far out. And the official ruling is a restart for Palatar. So, after all that, and now, coaches Gordy Gerson, Tariq Mekic, and Jason Palkovich want to have a conversation about what is going on. And I would like to be in on that conversation because I'm not very sure what just happened, but either way, it'll be a restart. Palatar will have it, and there's still less than a minute left to go in the first half. That's where things stand. 9-0 lead for Krajisnik. In this quarter alone, Lazada's got 2, Toy Tavares and Buljabasic have 1, Mirshad Ahmadi has 2. Krajisnik continuing to dominate. Nothing too out of the ordinary for this Krajisnik side right now, but here's a chance for Safoy, and he scores. So I'll eat my words a little bit there. Krajisnik were dominating, and then Joe Safoy, the former Baltimore Arsenal player, gets on the board for Salisbury. It is Safoy who scored, not Danza, if you heard the PA announcer. Safoy scored, Danza assisted, so that's now a 3-point weekend for Danza. And if Salisbury weren't losing by 15 goals and 8 goals today, Danza would be pretty happy with a 3-goal weekend. Unfortunately, the team just not there for Salisbury. They're missing their top goal scorer, and Araviakis. Drew Taylor up off the wall. And players hustling back. Palatar will just have to roll it out. Final 5 seconds of the first half, and Mohamed Job will see it out. So 9-1, the most recent goal scored by Salisbury, but before that, it was all Krajisnik. And while we take a look at some of the goal scorers today, Greg Fanning will be heading down to the pitch to talk to someone on the Krajisnik side about a very strong first half performance. We'll see who he gets, and it is going to be, thought it would be Gordy Gerson. Not one to shy away from the camera, but the hunt continues for Greg Fanning. It looks like it'll be Tariq Mekic one more time. And they'll also bring in Manny Silva. Oh, it is just Silva going to talk to Greg Fanning. So, the big congrats to Fanning and Silva, who are going to be making their way for the halftime interview. A 9-1 lead for Krajisnik. If you can't tell, I'm dragging for content here because I'm waiting for Greg to be ready. But he looks like he's ready, so we'll send it down now to Greg Fanning with Manny Silva.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're down here at center pitch here with the one and only Manny Silva. Started off last night with you, started tonight with you. What's been the key to this onslaught of goal scoring and assists that we've seen the last 2 nights?
Hard work every day. I don't know what to say. He's just been working hard every day.
So you're seeing a lot of different players from last night's roster playing tonight. Those players coming in and bringing in some dividends and scoring goals and things, being a great part of the play this first half. They seem to be gelling well with you guys.
Yes, they have. They're all great players. We haven't been playing together a lot, but the chemistry is still there because we all know the sport and we all love it.
And what's the focus? I mean, you guys have the 9-1 lead right now. What's going to be the focus, you think, from the coaching staff and from the players to keep this momentum going for the second half?
To come out the same way we started. Don't let them get any more chances. Keep them at one goal if possible.
There you go. Great half. Have a great second. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Greg. That's Greg Fanning alongside Manny Silva. Silva has 1 goal today. He had 2 goals yesterday, but he got the scoring started on both nights. We're 9-1. Krajisnik lead in dominating fashion, looking to sweep a weekend against Salisbury. We'll take a break. We'll be right back on the Krajisnik FC YouTube channel.
Family this holiday season with an award-winning Mazda in your driveway. This month during a Season to Move You sales event, drive a new 2025 Mazda CX-30 SE model for only $269 a month on a 36-month lease, or save with 0% or 1.9% APR financing on select new 2025 Mazdas. Let's make your deal on a new Mazda where it's always easy to do business at Steep Ponte Mazda. family this holiday season with an award-winning Mazda in your driveway. This month during a Season to Move You sales event, drive a new 2025 Mazda CX-30 SE model for only $269 a month on a 36-month lease, or save with 0% or 1.9% APR financing on select new 2025 Mazdas. Let's make your deal on a new Mazda where it's always easy to do business at Steep Ponte Mazda.
Back inside the Adirondack Bank Center as we get set for second half action between Krajisnik and Salisbury. The Stakes got one goal at the last moment of the first half. It came from number 10, Joseph Safoy. It was assisted by number 11, Josh Danza, and it's the two players that we said would have to get involved for Salisbury if they wanted to score, and they did. But, you know, the lead is still pretty marginal if you're Krajisnik. You're still up 8, but you have to keep your head on in the second half.
Yeah, you can't have any complacency. You have to play hard. Keep doing the things that got you here. You're up 9-1. A little breakdown in coverage. But, you know, I mean, you're up 9-1. And now you continue to do the same things. You're using the same tactics. You're playing this with the same intensity. Looks like Salisbury's making a goaltender change. But, you know, really, the goaltenders for Salisbury have proven that they cannot stop the ball when it's an aerial shot, a rising shot, or a hook up into the top shelf. Get back to firing that ball high. Take those high shots and get that goal back. That was right at the beginning of the half. I was getting ready to speak with Manny Silva. I saw that happen, and you know what? I had nightmares of what we dealt with last year. Like a minute left, you're letting up goals. Why are we doing that? Don't do that. It just, you know, like that's why coaches don't live as long as everybody else. It just, those are the things that drive a coach nuts. But aside from the one goal and the little breakdown there, this team is firing on all cylinders again, and it's we beat the dead horse of just how dominant this team is over the last 2 days. But they're just, it's hard to find a flaw in the last game and a half where they need to work on something that burned them in the end. And they're handling their business, and that's exactly what they have to do. They have to keep pace and take the lead with Spice City, and they're taking control of that situation. That proactive soccer that we talked so much about yesterday.
Forward is Danza as we kick off half number 2, and all the way back to Drew Taylor. Thought about the quick throw. Instead, we'll roll it out. And here's Ricky Orozco. Out to Drew Taylor. Taylor in some pressure, works out of it to Orozco. Genrich. Orozco. This is Silva. Amadi. Gets it forward to Genrich, lets it run back to Amadi, and turned over. Other way with speed is Odie Johnson. Genrich does a good job of getting a deflection on the shot. And Drew Taylor will hold it. He has Tyson Dos Santos to his left and utilizes him.
So Krajisnik coming out, poised, methodical, just like they were the first two. I think methodical is going to be the word of the day. They're following protocol.
Vinny Verdi comes out and makes a stop on Manny Silva. And now Hamada and Tyson Dos Santos both making their way on the ball. And it's Dos Santos who plays forward to Maldini Goncalves. And Goncalves has space. We'll back things up and look for Hamada, and we'll play it instead to Juma. Ramazani Juma played at Utica University, and he fires a shot. And Juma will play it back to Toy Tavares.
And several opportunities for some handballs. Pretty much a rarity in the indoor league, but they have been there. That was another opportunity.
There's a foul called on Tommy Humphreys, number 3, for Salisbury on Vera's shot. There was a handball called earlier in the UCFC game on Wanalava, and it led to a 2-minute power play. But you're right, that's the first handball I've seen called in a long time.
Yeah, there's always an argument, but they don't call many.
That's that's Mershad Amadi who scores for Krajisnik. And that is goal number 4 on the night.
He really needs to start sharing. This is, he's putting on a clinic. Every ball that comes off of his foot with that shot, ball comes across, defense shifts over, he just moves over one little bit and just powers that ball through. But where'd the ball go? Top shelf. So, this is the formula that is required to continue to build this goal differential. So now I guess the question is, do they hit the number that they hit last night? Because they had a quiet third and then they erupted in the fourth. Let's see how things unveil here as we hit the sub 12-minute mark of the third quarter here at the Adirondack Bank Center.
Mohamed Hamada has had a fairly quiet weekend himself after scoring 2, and he was our player of the game after game number 1. There's a miscommunication, but Maldini Goncalves is there in time. But Hamada doing a lot more of the piecing together of the play as Goncalves plays it off the wall to himself. And now we'll move alongside the boards. Goncalves has Hamada. Will play Toy Tavares. Tavares back to Mohamed Hamada. Scoop pass down. And now flicked over to Toy Tavares. Taken away from him, but it's back now with Mohamed Job. Job turns it over. Tavares, and now a foul called on Toy Tavares. Raul Garcia draws the foul and a free kick for Salisbury.
Salisbury making a change here and making a run right through the middle, but players are all covered. Krajisnik is still continuing to blanket these players from Salisbury. And, Salisbury has upped the tempo of their defense as well, seeing a lot more of what they did during the first quarter. Again, I don't know why they got away from that, but that was what kept Krajisnik from scoring really quickly at the beginning of the game. And, instead of a goal 30 seconds into the game, that first goal got scored more around the 6-minute mark. So Salisbury needs to get back to what they were doing in the first quarter if they have any chance of trying to contain this team.
Here's Amadi again, this time stood up, and Vinny Verdi comes out to play it away. This is Joseph Safoy, who has the lone Salisbury goal. Good stretch pass forward to Odie Johnson, and that one, a foul called on Mohamed Hamada. As that ball goes out of play. And they'll get a new one in for Salisbury.
So interesting formation right now in coverage for Salisbury. 2 deep, 1 in the middle, 2 up top. We'll see how they fan out when they come back towards the ball. The referees are converging here.
Yeah, originally it looked like Hamada had committed a foul, and then the referee's saying that he didn't commit a foul and that the ball just went out of play. Now they're deciding who it went off of, and it was a last touch by Salisbury. So possession goes the way of Krajisnik at the end of all that.
And Taylor is out wide again, utilizing, he's playing a little offense there, becoming a positional player. And they did this right at the end of the first half of play. Didn't really pan out very well.
There's Ramazani Juma. Back heel flick. There's a shot. Oh, just wide from Ricky Orozco. Well, he's racking up the assists, Orozco is, but feels like he hasn't got that goal yet. Maybe now. Orozco on the left foot. There it is. Top of the net and in.
Yeah, it was great. Great play, great shot, controlling the rebound and the turnover in the middle of the offensive third. Great shot, and he didn't rush anything. He recognized that he had time, that he had space. We're going to see it right here on the replay. He's got the ball right up at the top of the key. A little bit of pressure from 2 Salisbury players coming through, but he took his time, lined up where he wanted to go, and again went high on that shot. So they recognize when they need a goal, when they want to get a goal in quick form, in quick shape. That's how they're going to do it. They're going to go up tall. They're going to go up high. And it seems like Salisbury just doesn't have an answer for blocking those types of shots. It also doesn't help that it's short distance right from the foot of Ricky Orozco either. I really don't know how you do that. But still, I mean, it's over the process of the last 2 days, it has been a proven concept that you go high on these goalies.
Played down low. And now jersey pull there, no call. So Odie Johnson will line up a shot from distance, and that one goes up and into the netting and out of play.
And Silva was trying to break away there and come out of the back, and apparently Salisbury thought that it was better to hold on to him and try to rip the jersey off of his back.
Goncalves into space. Now out wide. Tavares. Rolled back to Manny Silva. Now Job, Silva on the return. What a save from Verdi. Good work. Now Tavares. Still Tavares. Works back to Maldini, Goncalves. Goncalves again. Drops it back to Silva. 1 goal today. Silva steps to the left, goes high and up into the netting.
And Silva continues to showcase his ability to work with anybody within this roster on the pitch and be effective with the ball. Had an opportunity the first time that he took possession close to the top of the key, had the opportunity to take the shot. He paused, he waited, dished the ball off for a different opportunity. Second time, he let it rip.
Turnover, and Goncalves runs down onto the ball. Vinny Verdi has some pressure applied to him by Maldini Goncalves, and it's won back by Krajisnik. Flicked forward, brought down. Goncalves left it for Josh Card, but a misplayed pass there by Goncalves. And Krajisnik will reset. Tavares. Mershad Amadi fires with the left foot, dragged it wide. Jorge Lozada. Now Goncalves.
Starting to see a little fatigue from Salisbury. They had a golden opportunity as one of our players gets ripped down. They had a golden opportunity to steal possession of the ball on the far boards, and they're just standing around looking at it, and now somebody's been given it looks like a yellow. Could be a yellow card being called.
We know this game got chippy yesterday, and it is Vinny Verdi who's shown the yellow card. Oh, never mind, and he'll head back. So officially, yellow card looks to be Raul Garcia, who has assessed the yellow, so he'll be out of play for the next 5 minutes, at least until the 2:29 mark of the third quarter. Maldini Goncalves, his shot is high and away. And so, once again, we continue to have a little bit of confusion, but there is a media timeout. And so we will step aside and let this confusion play out. We'll come back when we have an update on the United Elite Krajisnik FC YouTube channel. You're watching the MASL2. Don't go anywhere. Back inside the Adirondack Bank Center. So it is a yellow card for Raul Garcia. He'll be out of play for the next 5 minutes. And then now we have to wait for the referee's decision because there was a play that was ran by Krajisnik, but technically the media timeout should have happened before that play. So now they make the decision of whether to let the play be run again, and they will let the play be run again. So you could go back to Goncalves, give him another chance at the shot. You could go over to Ramazani Juma. We've also got Toy Tavares if you're Ricky Orozco. And Orozco, if the numbers are correct from the PA announcer, 10 assists, which leads the MASL2. And now it's played over. Amadi fires a shot. Kick save from Vinny Verdi.
Yeah, Ricky continues to showcase just just how much of a team player he is. I'd like to see him get more goals, but you know what? At the end of the day, whether you're helping dish it off and make the play happen, or you're putting it in the back of the net yourself, a win is a win. And through play with the assists and everything that he has amassed in this short early part of the season, just showcases how pivotal it is for him to get into this offense, get going, and play a very big part towards being successful.
Salisbury go the other way as Tyson Dos Santos gets a clearance, but it's right back into the path, and a shot goes high. And it is Tyler Barth in net there for Krajisnik, so a change midway through the third quarter as Drew Taylor steps aside and Tyler Barth will head onto the pitch.
They were warming him up at the end of the half. He was getting a lot of work with Andrew Taylor, and then they were just warming him up again during the media timeout. So this makes perfect sense. Give him a little more time. Yesterday he had the fourth quarter all to himself. Now he's going to be able to be on the pitch for the fourth quarter and the remainder of third.
More minutes for Tyler Barth and Odie Johnson. The intentional foul to take down Kyle Jenrich and Rashad Amadi on the breakaway leads to a blue card and a power play for Krajisnik. Here's another look at what went down. Rashad Amadi was breaking forward. Jenrich was right behind him.
Yeah, that's a flagrant foul from behind. Defenseless player. That's one of those cases where you have to do something because you've gotten beaten so bad. You got to do something or else a scoring opportunity is coming towards your goaltender. But that was definitely a flagrant foul.
Krajisnik have scored on a couple of power plays yesterday. Maldini Goncalves had a power play goal that kind of just squeaked over the line, and then I believe there was one more, but I don't remember which of the 17 goals it was. So here's a chance now on the power play again. Amadi. Orozco. Amadi again. Give and go with Ricky Orozco. And now the other side, back to Orozco. Back to Amadi. His shot, curling top corner. What a finish from Rashad Amadi. And just like that, the power play goal has Krajisnik up 12-1.
That was a thing of beauty. That hook right up into the top corner. Verdi didn't even move. And I don't know if he thought that ball was going to go off of the glass or what. But this starts with the rotation at the top, going from one side to the other, moving Salisbury's defense from side to side, and then just a beautiful arcing shot up into the top corner. And Verdi didn't see it coming or didn't think that it was going to be an issue. Let it go off of the post, let it go off the glass. But again, looking at this rotation, when you're in a power play, you got to be moving. You got to be moving the ball in an arc, just like they do in hockey. You go from one side to the other, like our Utica Comets do on the power play, and you got to go from one side to the other, and then you get everybody shifting and moving, hit the shot when it's least expected, and that gives you a prime opportunity to put one in the back of the net.
Jenrich is fouled at the back end. He'll play it over to Tyler Barth, who can finally work with the ball at his feet a little bit. And he drives a pass to the corner. Not a bad idea from Barth as it finds Christian Vera. Vera on the turn. Lays it back to Maldini Goncalves, who fires a shot. Oh, it's just wide. Vera thought he had the follow-up. Jorge Lozada will pick it up.
And Verdi came out on that one a little bit. And it hit bottom corner of the outside part of the post. Krajisnik certainly is not letting up, and this is going to help with that goal differential, put us right back up into first place.
Vera works free, and he scores for 13. First goal of the game for Christian Vera. It's a big finish for the striker.
Another player that wasn't playing yesterday coming in today. Fresh legs on the pitch, and now reaping benefits for this team, getting this team going. Vera's, he's congratulated by the whole squad over there at midfield. You get this just this. I mean, they're having fun. They're having a lot of fun today. They had a lot of fun yesterday, but you see the camaraderie of this team right now, and everybody's got each other's backs. What a beautiful pass right through the middle of the field, a stabbing movement by the defense, by the defender. Ladies and gentlemen, when you're playing soccer, don't stab, because that's what happens. You get completely out of position. He's down on one leg. He can't make a play. And now Krajisnik is coming up the field again, advancing that ball up wide and taking shots, and Verdi's right there for the save.
Great stop from Vinny Verdi. 4.5 minutes left in the third.
But that stabbing motion opened up the door for Vera. All he had to do was just open up his foot a little wider than normal and just pop that ball right in the back of the net. So Krajisnik is continuing to play excellent ball here. A quiet third, just like it was yesterday, but still the goal count is rising once again.
Here's Mohamed Hamada. Silva working down low. Good save from Verdi with his knee. Hamada pressured by Humphreys. Hamada, a couple of step overs, fakes a shot. It actually ticked off his foot, and then he gets sent into the boards.
Oh, we got tempers flaring again. The frustrations. We got a blue card.
Should be a blue card for Humphreys. It is. Hamada's not one to be provoked and does a good job of walking away from what happened.
Yes, 100%. You can tell that the tensions are high for Salisbury. 2 consecutive days of just complete dominance from Krajisnik. Salisbury's feeling it right now. They're embarrassed on the field. They're really frustrated. They're angry, and some of those plays will just set them off. And so it's good that Krajisnik kept their cool, kept their composure and everything. It's always a good thing to do on the pitch.
I mean, Hamada's a player who's done it at the national team level, so knows how to keep his head on his shoulders.
Yep.
And earns another power play for Krajisnik. Last time it was Mershad Amadi who had a power play goal. Right now,
this will give Krajisnik a good opportunity to go ahead and work on this skill set in game time formation.
Silva. Orozco looks for the opening. Instead, we'll drop it back to Silva. Orozco again. Amadi. Players rotating in and around for Orozco, but he'll go wide. Now down low. Shot off the glass. I think Verdi got a hand to it. Amadi picks it up, minute 23 on the power play.
Krajisnik getting into that arcing movement again, one side to the other, getting Salisbury to shift their defense, the goaltender to shift from side to side. Sometimes you lose track of that ball, and before you know it, there's a shot. Turf Monster got in the way on that one with him stubbing his foot.
So 1 minute left on the power play, and really it's just been in the zone. Had one shot that was saved by Verdi. Push down low, chance again across the face of goal, and Goncalves just didn't expect it. That one should have been a tap in on an empty net. Amadi. Back to Orozco. 30 seconds left on the power play. Orozco thought about the shot, lays it off. Amadi looking for the curler. Instead, he lifts it right into the netting. And the yellow card is released, so Raul Garcia can head over to the bench again. But it's still 29 seconds of a power play for Krajisnik.
So you wonder how hard they press, how hard they push off the last 30 seconds of this power play.
Looks like a fairly high press from Krajisnik, but good work Salisbury to get out of it. Far side, it's with number 5, Matt Brower. And Barth will calm things down for Krajisnik. 15 seconds left on the power play. Amadi wants Orozco to go forward. Now directing his team with 4 seconds on the power play clock. Orozco looks for the opening. Power play is released. Humphreys coming right back in. Amadi lost his footing. Now we'll fire it, saved by Verdi. Headed upward, Odie Johnson. Goncalves picks it up and will run backwards with it. And now we'll turn forwards with 80 seconds left in the third. And there's a chance in front, saved again by Verdi.
Verdi made a couple of really solid saves back there in the pipes, trying to maintain a little control. The score is the score, but he's trying to maintain some composure back there. He's trying to maintain the game best as he can. Tyler Barth, just like Andrew, getting bored.
Not much you can do when your team scored 13 and you've only given up 1 and really hasn't had a shot on goal in the second half.
Salisbury they're not getting enough pressure up into the offensive zone. It was the story of yesterday. They're just not getting any movement. They're not getting any movement into the offensive zone. They're not crisscrossing the field. They haven't been able to solve the puzzle that is Krajisnik Football Club.
So Safoy lifts it in the corner. Turnover, and now Vera can move forward.
Vera gives that big body at the top capabilities to fill space, fill gaps, and be there for rebounds when they come off the boards.
Card played one off of the glass.
Krajisnik right now, 4 players back, rotating in that amoeba fluid type formation, playing 1 forward striker all the way up top, pushing that defensive end.
9 seconds left in the quarter, and Krajisnik looking for maybe one last shot on goal. Instead, it will be dribbled back, and the clock will tick to zeros in the third. So we'll head to the fourth, a 13-1 lead for Krajisnik. And 15 minutes left to go. Greg, once again, smooth sailing. Can't complain if you're the home side.
No, you can't complain at all. A quiet quarter, but if you stitch together first, second, and third, each quarter, they just very slowly and very quietly, assassin-like, ninja-like, they get in there. They're popping 4 over here, 5 over there, 3 over here. Just like they got their mojo back, baby, and they are just cranking on all cylinders.
Well, 2.5 minutes until the fourth quarter begins. Until then, we will step aside. You're watching the MASL2 on the United Elite Krajisnik FC YouTube channel. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. We'll be right back.
Family this holiday season with an award-winning Mazda in your driveway. This month during a Season to Move You sales event, drive a new 2025 Mazda CX-30 SE model for only $269 a month on a 36-month lease, or save with 0% or 1.9% APR financing on select new 2025 Mazdas. Let's make your deal on a new Mazda where it's always easy to do business at Steep Ponte Mazda.
Back inside the Adirondack Bank Center, final 15 minutes of action between Krajisnik FC and the Salisbury Stakes. 13-1 the score. And why not? Let's run through all the goal scorers. Manny Silva has 1. Mershad Amati has 5. Josh Card has 1. Jorge Lozada has 2. Toy Tavares has 1. Adeline Buljabasic has 1. Ricky Orozco has 1. And Christian Vera has 1. So once again, obviously the focal point of the attack has to be Mershad Amati and his 5 goals. But players that, that are first time in the lineup, Josh Card, Christian Vera, Adeline Buljabasic, also getting on the score sheet is a great sign.
Yeah, it is a great sign. These players are they're working exceptionally well together. It's almost like they all get to play all the time. And Manny Silva said it best at halftime. They haven't played together all that much, and yet this is how they're handling business.
Buljabasic launched a shot in. Toy Tavares will get the rebound. Genrich moves it forward to Job. Return pass to Genrich is picked away by Salisbury. The Stakes move forward with Matt Brower. And now Odie Johnson plays a good stretch pass ahead. Joseph Safoy. Safoy has a lone goal today for Salisbury. Gets a touch on it, back to Johnson. Genrich defending. And now Josh Danza holds on to it. Lozada gets a touch on that one and will chase it down. Vinny Verdi has to play it across his body to Odie Johnson. Now picked away by Krajisnik again. And again, moving forward with speed is Adeline Buljabasic. 1 goal today. And Buljabasic goes sprinting into Josh Danza and commits a foul in the process. So Salisbury will have a free kick with 13 minutes left to play.
It was kind of interesting watching Krajisnik come down at the beginning of the fourth, right off of the kickoff. It was kind of interesting watching them play that swarm defense. We really haven't seen that over the last 7 quarters. And
oh wow, an unlucky deflection. It's a goal for Krajisnik. The pressure pays off for the home side. It's 14-1. That's Ricky Orozco's second of the day.
Yeah, he's walking over. He's like, how'd I do that? It's like he's so surprised. But this is, like I tell my teams all the time. He took that right off his ribs, and it just went right in. The goaltender was on the outside looking for the play. And I tell my players all the time, even if you have a potato cannon for a leg, you're not putting the ball through a body. Look for the open pass. And true to form, he tried to put the ball through Ricky Orozco instead of playing out wide to the goaltender, who was wide open, no pressure, had all the time in the world. He's out there having a cup of joe, and he blasted the ball off of Ricky. He paid the price.
Here's Tyson Dos Santos, and Tyler Barth is up with him. Here is Barth. Steps forward. His shot took a deflection. It'll be a Krajisnik restart. So both goalkeepers have gotten forward in this game for Krajisnik. Obviously, both of them outdoor goalkeepers adjusting now to the indoor game. Tyler Barth from SUNY Poly and Drew Taylor from SUNY Brockport, as Amati fires that one well over. But slowly getting more comfortable with the ball at their feet and getting adjusted to, a different type of ball as well.
Well, we've seen other teams come in here into the Adirondack Bank Center. We have seen them come in and play against our squads, and they utilize that goaltender as another positional player when they're traveling up the field. Orlando did it last year. Rochester did it last year. Spice City was doing it for our home opener. They bring that goaltender up. So, while it's not the mainstay of what this coaching staff is bringing for how this team is going to play and what the formations are, at least they're getting the opportunity to get used to doing that should there become a challenge where they're called upon to do it to try and save the day, if you would. Gordy just got a yellow card.
Well, 14-1 lead and something not sitting right with the coaching staff, so yellow card issued to Gerson. As now here is Barth. Pressured, rolls it forward. Good pass forward to Maldini Goncalves. Took a deflection out of play off of Salisbury and into the crowd. And well, with 12 minutes and 10 seconds left, this game's going to end a lot earlier than yesterday's game.
Yes, it is.
But a positive weekend nonetheless for Krajisnik. And a look ahead now to the next matchup, which is again against Salisbury on February 8th. And a long while until we're back here at home against the Stakes, at home in general. But I believe the next home game is against the Baltimore Arsenal for the first time this season.
Yeah, I believe that we're playing against Baltimore our next home game. And that will, that's another one of those teams. Yes, our next home game, just looking at my cheat sheet here, Sunday, February 23rd, Baltimore Arsenal against Krajisnik Football Club at the Adirondack Bank Center.
There's a hat trick for Jorge Lozada. And now 15-1 Krajisnik.
So that February 23rd game against Baltimore, the 8th, this team travels to Connecticut, goes and plays against Salisbury. That game is a 7 o'clock kickoff. And then Sunday the 23rd is the Arsenal against Krajisnik Football Club, Adirondack Bank Center. Everybody come out and support this team. Tickets are on sale as we speak. But that's going to be another group. Like Baltimore struggles with the scoring. They struggle with defending, and it's another team that this group needs to take advantage of that opportunity, not only for the victory but also to expand that goal differential.
Salisbury with Humphreys. Now Odie Johnson. Defended by Buljabasic. And Buljabasic gets the better of Johnson. And Toy Tavares plays across to Mohamed Hamada, who cuts away from the defense. Still Hamada. Ball roll. Hamada wants the shot. Works his way closer, dances past everyone. Oh, almost a great solo effort from Mohamed Hamada. And now Mohamed Job will pick it up. Job goes back to Tavares. Manny Silva. Silva cuts to the left. Still Silva, and dragged wide again. Well, we're approaching that 17 mark that Krajisnik hit yesterday as Toy Tavares goes bumbling down. And eventually a slide tackle takes out Tavares, and that's Humphreys again involved in a foul. But a chance now for Krajisnik to set something up with Ricky Orozco coming onto the field.
And Orozco is going to go to the ball. Silva's wrapping around. Option wide.
And high. But with so much attention on Murshad Ahmadi, you kind of forget that there's some other players that can put the ball in the back of the net for Krajisnik. That was the idea there. Yeah,
and cause confusion through close encounter wraps where you're just, I call it Tasmanian devil, especially when you're doing corner kicks and boxes. I always tell my teams, be the Tasmanian devil, or really stir the pot up, get everybody, because somebody's going to step out and become an option, and that's a miniature version of that taking place.
Here's Barth being directed by Toy Tavares. Barth in space, fires a shot, saved by Verdi. Toy Tavares, again with Barth nearby. We'll play it to Orozco. 9.5 minutes left to go. And a pass forward finds Vinny Verdi. Now Matt Brower. Played forward by Salisbury. Danza's all alone. And yet, Salisbury can't take advantage. It's turned over. And Danza alone again, but once again, can't find him. Orozco has it pickpocketed away. Applies enough pressure to slow down Danza. And turned over yet again. Amati's free on the left. Played to Mershad Amati. The pass back, and it's in the back of the net. Once again, Krajisnik score. And once again, Krajisnik lead by 15.
Yeah, it's that was one of those 1, 2, 3 fire. You got 3 different players that touch the ball. Goaltender is trying to keep track of where he's going and what's taking place. Ball comes in, quick chip. Looked like that was supposed to be a chip to go into the corner, and the ball landed on Manny's foot, and he just finished the job.
Manny Silva with the goal, his second of the game. It is now 16-1, Krajisnik. Verdi into the corner. One back by Salisbury, off the wall, and Krajisnik recovered. Still Salisbury loose in front. Touchdown by Jorge Lozada. Lozada, who's on a hat trick, finds Tyson Dos Santos. Rolled forward. And again, this is Ramazani Juma. Cross to Tyson Dos Santos. Forward to Juma again. Juma on the turn. Gets shoved off the ball, and Salisbury will maintain possession, move forward. Sprinting up the near side is Ibrahim Abdulmaged. It's played there, but it goes out of play and into the stands.
Salisbury trying to make some movements. I give them credit. You know, they've been put through the ringer over the process of the last 2 days, and they haven't quit. There's no quit in that team. They're out there working just as hard as they were from second one and quarter one, all the way through to the present time. So kudos to them, because a lot of teams they get up or they get down by this goal differential, and they just they kind of give up.
So that takes us to our final media timeout of the game, and we will step aside one last time. You're watching MASL2 on YouTube. Back inside the Adirondack Bank Center. Final 8 minutes of action as Krajisnik are dominating the Salisbury Stakes, putting the MASL2 on notice. As of now, let's take a look around the other standings in the MASL2. Right now, Krajisnik, Spice City, Baltimore, Salisbury. But down in the Midwest West region, Wichita lead 6-1-1 record. San Diego Soccer's 2 with a 4-1 record. Certified Lions FC 3-2 in third place. And the Chihuahua Savage fourth with a 3-0 record. And they've only played 3 games, so they've played 2 or 3 games less than the rest of the division. So kind of like Krajisnik playing less games than the rest of the division. Up in the north, St. Louis Ambush are a perfect 4-0. The Iowa Demon Hawks are a perfect 3-0. Minnesota Blizzard 1-3. Muskegon Risers 1-5. And the Wisconsin Conquerors 1-2. So you're seeing sort of the filtering out of the top end teams. You know, St. Louis, Iowa Demon Hawks, Wichita, San Diego, Chihuahua, and Krajisnik and Spice City. But now it's about which of the teams are going to end up in that 4-team playoff in Iowa. If you're in the East and the North, you got to win that division. Got to be first. So a lot of pressure upcoming on Krajisnik to finish first in that division.
Yeah, and they keep playing like this. Right now, we sitting here today, we both agree that it's a 2-horse race.
Still got to get the job done, though.
You got to get the job done, and you got to be focused, and you got to handle business. Great defense by Krajisnik off of that free kick.
Buljabasic gets the block there, and now he's chasing it down. And he performs a wrestling move, a single leg takedown on the far side to draw the foul. And now a delay of game called on Ramazani Juma for running away with the ball.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of WWE moves over the process of the last 2 days, but the battle within our division between Spice City and Krajisnik is only going to heat up. You got to handle the business at hand with the teams that you should beat on a daily basis, and this team playing this way, they're going to be a formidable opponent for anybody that walks onto the pitch against them.
Vinny Verdi plays it off the wall to himself. Krajisnik wanted the call. They won't get it. And now forward from Salisbury again. Odie Johnson dances past one. Lozada commits the foul.
It's still a highly physical game. It's starting to get a little chippy, but it's pretty. It's common fouls. They're common fouls. Somebody gets out of position, and they don't want to get beat. They don't want an opportunity. You commit the foul. You reset. Live to fight another day or another moment within the game.
There's a shot that ricochets off the legs of Jorge Lozada. Worked into Raul Garcia. Back heel. And now Adeline Buljabasic finds Tyson Dos Santos. He wants glory, and instead will find the hands of Vinny Verdi. Under 6 to go, and I think we've said about everything we could say about this Krajisnik team and the situation they're in, and the Salisbury team, the situation they're in. As here is Matt Brower stepping into space. His shot blocked by Josh Card, and now Card can step forward. Still Card moving ahead. Still Card, and he can't find a way past Ibrahim Abdul-Maged. Vinny Verdi takes his man down. Whistle blows for a foul on Krajisnik outside of the box.
The one thing with this that we're starting to see is we're 5.5 left in the game. This coaching staff is leaving. Tariq has Ricky Roscoe on the pitch, but he's got, and it looks like line 1 is back out there. But before this stoppage in play, he had a number of the fresh players, new players that they put into that line 3. He had them out on the pitch for a very, very long time. He is utilizing this strategically to give them the opportunity to showcase their skill set, showcase how they're playing, and that they're picking up how we play and how we run the team. And then Tyler Berth getting even more minutes today. That's helping him make that final transition and be ready to go should he be called upon at any given moment.
There's a sliding challenge. And a big foul.
That's
and
a penalty.
Another blue card on Salisbury.
One thing I will say is that the referee has been equal on both sides in calling those penalties and pulling those blue cards.
It's a blue and a yellow, I believe. So it'll be a 2-minute power play plus the 5-minute foul for the yellow card.
And with only 4 minutes left, that negates that player for the rest of the day.
And Orozco would call a timeout with under 5 minutes to go. And a 16-1 lead for Krajisnik. Once again, goal difference does play a factor, but 2 games now that Krajisnik has outscored Salisbury by, well, currently 30 goals. 15 yesterday, 15 right now.
It's just gonna vault Krajisnik into a beautiful position within the standings. And as we said, gotta win it.
Yep, just got to take care of the rest of these Salisbury and Baltimore games, and then really that 3-game stretch against Spice City, the last 3 games of the regular season for Krajisnik. We should see both of these teams go into that game. Krajisnik, hopefully at that point, hasn't lost a game. Spice City will have lost the season opener for Krajisnik here. And those 3 games will determine the champion of the North Division.
Yeah, head-to-head metric is so important, especially when you're playing within the divisions and things. You have to take care of business. You gotta hit the nail on the head when you're going after these victories. And plus, they're also Krajisnik is also utilizing this time to, polish how they play and continue to build that bond within each of the lines and each of the players. Because it's not always going to be 16-1 games. It's not always going to be 17-2 games. As we always preach on the pitch, enjoy these moments because they are rare. And you know what? You never know when the table is going to turn. So you enjoy the moment, you celebrate the moment, and when the moment is gone, it's back to work, ladies and gentlemen. And that's the big key to everything here.
So Krajisnik on the power play for the next 2 minutes with 4 minutes and 15 seconds left to go in the game.
And Krajisnik isn't messing around with this. They're taking this very seriously. They got Ricky Orozco up at the top. They got Silva up at the top point as well. So they got their heavy hitters out there, and just they should. It is a power play, so they've got their power play line out there.
Amadi on the left side, back to Orozco with 1:15 on the power play clock. 3 minutes, 45 seconds in the game. Orozco, one-time feed over to Amadi. Orozco again, looking for an outlet, looking for Ramazani Juma down low, and a good clearance from Salisbury. Forces Barth out to find Silva. Under a minute on the power play. Silva. Now to the other side. Work down low. Return pass to Amadi is well out of play, and Barth will hang back as Amadi tracks this one down. So they will send someone over to fill in because of the yellow card as well to Joseph Safoy. Someone will have to come out of the penalty box in his place because the blue card will end in 39 seconds. So referees will fix their mistake there and get that issue sorted. With 3:08 on the clock and 39 seconds on the power play for Krajisnik.
Krajisnik just working this power play a little bit further, polishing their skills through this. But, really good ball movement, rotating across the top, bringing it in deep. They've got that run again into the center.
There's a fake shot from Manny Silva. Deeks to the left, now turns to the right. 15 seconds on the power play. There's a one-time shot. It's high and away. And Silva will reset with 8 seconds left on the power play clock. His shot, another save from Verdi. 3 seconds on the power play. Orozco. Laid off to the left. There's a shot, and it's wide. Should have been headed in at the back post. It was Ramazani Juma right there. And now we're back to 5-on-5. For the final 2 minutes.
It's almost like he didn't see that ball coming in. I think he ducked right at the last second. He couldn't make a play.
Orozco, another assist. What a feed from Ricky Orozco. And Ramazani Juma makes up for the last miss with that one to make it 17-1.
Yeah, the Juma Orozco, that was a thing of beauty, and that's where you're crashing down on the goal. I preach this like crazy, crash the goal, and this is exactly why. Come out wide, hit the crossing pass, and right behind the goaltender, even though he was covered, he came out, made himself available, and all it was a quick tap in. And that's textbook. That is textbook play right there. Salisbury losing sight and knowledge as to where the other players are located on the pitch, and you hide behind one, scoot out, and there you go.
So 17-1, Salisbury calls a timeout. We'll step aside with 2 minutes and 9 seconds left.
So we would just like to thank our sponsorships, our local sponsoring companies, everybody from Steve Ponte Mazda, City Plumbers. These are local businesses that believe in the product and believe in us. Go ahead and invest their local dollars in our programs. Colino's Riverside Diner, wonderful restaurant, great food. You also have the Livy Strong Foundation. Get behind these people. This is a charity that I invest in as well. They do great work with local sponsorships and things for players. You have Drina Auto Repair and Service. You call, we haul. They do great work as well, especially on the landscaping side. All of our sponsors, continuous.
Oh, what a save by Tyler Barth.
Barth was right there.
And now Buljubasic moves the other way. Has Christian Vera in front of him. Vera takes a loose effort. Back to Buljubasic and a block by Salisbury. Sorry to interrupt the sponsor read there, Greg.
No, you're right. All of a sudden, Salisbury had a scoring opportunity down there. Tyler Barth playing big, like Stonewall over there. So, but no, yeah, just for our sponsors, thank you so much for all that you do for us. We're very happy to have you and represent you within our brand as well.
Oh, there's a couple of good moves. Now laid off to Lozada. Tyson Dos Santos rifles one in. And that one goes out of play. Here's a look at that Barth save. Got out, stretched that right foot out, and, valuable minutes for the youngster.
He's got to feel that. Outdoor to indoor, indoor to outdoor, there are definite changes in how the two venues or the two pitches that you play on. There's some definite changes that take place. Indoor is a lot faster. You don't have the drag of the grass. The dimensions are different. Like the play is everything is different. For him, you stand up there like a brick wall, make that play. He's getting valuable experience as we hit under 1 minute to go in this contest between Salisbury and United League Krajisnik Football Club.
Orozco called for the foul with 47.5 seconds left.
He has a blue card issued for Ricky.
And so Orozco will be issued a blue card. Looks like he's got a cut that needs to be attended to by the trainer because so they'll just take him away and get him looked at right now, and he's not going to come back in the game anytime soon, so.
The referees are asking for a player to go over into the box, much like what they did with the yellow card for the Salisbury team.
So Ramazani Juma makes his way over. 47 seconds left. It's not like Orozco was going to come back in the game anyways unless Salisbury had scored, which considering they have only done once today, don't expect it in the final 47 seconds. But hey, anything can happen. It's MASL. And we are just moments away from closing this one out. And the clock isn't working. Now it is. So 40 seconds left. Salisbury on the power play. And a good stop defensively from Krajisnik. And there's a foul called on the home side with 23 seconds left.
Couldn't tell if the ref was going through his pockets for pocket change or if he was trying to grab another card.
They issue out a yellow card now. Don't know who the yellow card was issued to. Is Toy Tavares who gets the yellow card. So he'll head to the penalty box, and Krajisnik will still be down to 4 players. It'll be that way for the next 23 seconds unless Salisbury can score in those 23 seconds, in which case the Orozco penalty will get released. There it is, a goal from Odie Johnson. So Orozco's penalty is released. And Salisbury able to score to make it 17-2, an exact replica of last night's game.
Yeah, Tyler tried to make a play on that one, but that just came in so hot and hard that he wasn't able to make the save. But you're up 17-1. Again, valuable minutes, valuable experience. And remember, he's only a sophomore in college.
Yeah.
So this is great experience for him, and he'll be able to take tactics and strategy and what he learns here, and he's going to be able to apply it on the field with his college games.
Manny Silva with 10 seconds left. Rolls to his left, maybe one chance for one final shot in the final 5 seconds. He'll take it all the way. Off the wall. Oh, just trickled wide. The rebound chance is also loose. That'll do it. 17-2 the final score. Greg, I'll let you take away the highlights and also your post-game thoughts. But a very, very positive result for Krajisnik. Back-to-back 17-2 wins.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Arnav. Another great broadcast. Krajisnik has handled business. These goals here in the second half, off open passes, getting into open lanes. These scores dictate just the flow of the game and how working and communication, crossing the pitch. This was a clear interception. Slight move over to the left side. Ricky Orozco driving that shot home. So the assist leader also bringing home a lot of goals and a lot of goal scoring. This was on the power play. Such a beautiful arcing shot. One thing in common is all the shots that are going up top and going high. So this Krajisnik team, as we continue to look at these highlights from our game today for the second half, as we continue to view these highlights, this Krajisnik team still undefeated, building on that illustrious goal differential, and they are making a statement that year 2 is the year for Krajisnik. They have come out, they've played hard, the coaching staff has the right message going out, they're preparing their players across the board, and this has been just a great doubleheader. If you haven't been here to see one of these M2 games, you need to buy your tickets and you need to come out and watch them. So for Greg Fanning, for everybody here on the production team and everything, thank you for a great couple of days. I send it down to my broadcast partner, Arnav, who's on the pitch, and everybody have a great rest of your weekend.
Welcome down to the field. Arnav Fokrell with you here. I'm alongside Jorge Lozada. Jorge, 3 goals, 1 assist. What was working well for you today?
Honestly, yesterday I had a little struggle. Still scored 2 goals yesterday, but honestly today I felt more comfortable and I had more confidence today, and hopefully, keep it going.
Yeah, I mean, 2 straight games where the score is 17-2. How do you take this momentum and sort of build on it for the next couple of games?
Honestly, I think it's great momentum. Like, I feel like it builds everyone's confidence up, obviously, and we work on things that we have to work on because, like you said, the score is 17 both games. So honestly, you just got to keep on working and hopefully get the result.
And for you, I mean, you're playing alongside some pretty solid players. Marshad Ahmadi's got 2 straight games with 5 goals.
Yeah.
Ricky, I think, leads the league in assists now. So what's it like to play with those talented players, just continue to raise the level in M2?
Honestly, they're amazing players. Honestly, I learn a lot from them, even during practice every day. Like, we train twice a week, but even on the days off, they invite me to go train with them in the Nexus Center. So they help me a lot. They're making me learn the game to my second year. Last year I didn't have a full year. I only played like 3 games, but this year I'm going to have a full year M2, hopefully, progress and hope play M1 next year.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, you come back this year and you're playing a lot more this year and you're really producing this year. What's that growth been like in the offseason and now coming back for year 2?
Honestly, well, the reason why I left last year is because I went to go play in Europe for 1 season, so I feel like that built my confidence up a little more and scoring more goals. Last year I had no goals, and this year, look at me, I already have 5 in 2 games. So honestly, going to Europe, coming back with a different mentality, I love it.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you, Jorge.
Thank you.
As always, congrats, and thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next game. Our home game is February 23rd against Baltimore. Until then, be safe. We'll see you then.